Kiss. Keep it simple, stupid.
Hashtag look it up. Hashtag look it up. Hashtag look it up.
What is this? Where am I?
That is right. Let's make deposits into the bank of knowledge. Welcome back to the Trebles Show. I am Trebles Garcia, and I want to thank the Lord for allowing me to be here today, and I want to thank every single one of you for allowing me to enter your space. Ladies and gentlemen, I have an amazing episode lined up with an amazing special guests with 2S because it's plural, and we're missing one of their teammates, but they're going to come in, or hopefully we're going to get to shout them out. But before anything, I want to remind you that the best thing that you could do for the show today is word of mouth and engagement. Drop a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, on the Spotify, and on YouTube. That allows other people to enjoy the show as much as I enjoy making it. Mad shout outs to every single person on YouTube right now. If you haven't subscribed, the button's over here or fucking somewhere over here. Whatever it is, take 5 seconds of the day to hashtag look it up and stop watching ads on TikTok. You know what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, let's jump in from the deep end of the pool and set the freaking mood. All right, these guys are doing their rounds, doing magic, spitting bombs of knowledge, making deposits every single freaking day. We are bringing to the freaking table Roger and Chris. Did I fuck that up already, bro?
Roger and Mike.
Roger and Mike from the Conspiracy Chaos podcast. What's up, big dog?
What's up, man? Appreciate you having us.
Yes, sir.
Yo, Mike is on the bottom over here, and then Roger's at the top over here. And I also know that you guys have a secondary podcast. Roger, you were telling me about the weed podcast. What's going on with that? What's the name of that?
The Pitch, Putt, and Puff. I've been doing that for going on 3 years now. Little golf cannabis kind of relates to me and the crew. We get out every Sunday. There's like 8-12 guys out there, you know, playing some golf, taking a puff or two, relaxing, enjoying a nice Sunday morning. And it's nice too. I'm 42 years old, and as you get older, and you know, you mentioned you had kids. I do as well. I have an 8-year-old daughter, and it's nice to get the time with the boys. We set it up every Sunday, and it's hard. Like, you know, back in the day, every Monday night you're going out grabbing wings and watching football. Thursday night you're hanging with the boys. You don't have that time when you got family and kids and everything else. So
1000%.
Being able to do that with the homies is always great, and just enjoy podcasting, man. The whole golf concept, cannabis concept led me to a bunch of different opportunities.
Golf and weed. Who would ever think? Golf and weed. Check that out.
Check it out, man. Check it out.
Combination.
It's perfect combination. Check it out on YouTube, Instagram, where you can get all podcasts.
You know what, man? You know what? Freak that noise. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to drop this episode for New Year's. This is going to be the New Year's episode. We're going to go around the table here, speak some truth. Before anything, where can people find the Conspiracy Chaos podcast? What are you about? And what has been the latest project you had? An event or something that you guys just learned?
Well, we've been on fire lately. Doing pretty well with it. We kind of try to dive down every angle with the Conspiracy Chaos. We've talked pharmaceuticals with Deplorable Janet. Shout out Deplorable Janet. She's
Hell yeah.
awesome.
Shout out to my pod mom.
Janet's
amazing.
We just went a little bit of cryptids and paranormal with Carol Ann from the In Between. She has a big YouTube channel. All that different realms. We had a Santeria episode. We went down that rabbit hole a little bit. That's coming out next week. So we've really been mixing it up in every aspect and trying to dive. I mean, we've got Bigfoots on. We've done some true crimes with like the smiley face killer and stuff like that. So we mix it up, man. We mix it up, but we just really we want to learn. We want to learn. I love people's theories, and everybody has, like, I thought the Titanic is one of my favorite conspiracies. I thought
that's my favorite too. Yeah.
I had it pretty much all had it figured out, and then Paranoid American was on, and he hit me with something at the end with the gold smelting, and I was like, what? Like, boom, like, you know what I mean? It's a whole nother rabbit hole for me to dive down on that. So it's that aspect of it's super fun.
That's nuts, bro.
Conspiracy Chaos. Check us out on Instagram, and same thing, YouTube and all Apple, Spotify, all podcast platforms. Doing good there, man. We're ranked 70 on FeedSpot on Conspiracy Podcast, so we're making some moves.
Man, I've had a problem with the freaking Spreaker putting me under the conspiracy tab. It didn't even exist, a conspiracy tab back then. I was like, what the heck? So I just went with culture tab, and I'm gonna have to compete with everybody else that's culture tabbed and everything. But it is what it is, bro. Podcasting really saved my life, and I'm just here to enjoy the time, have amazing conversations with all of you guys. So ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are interested in what they're talking about, you like their vibe, make sure you check out Conspiracy Chaos and Golf and Weed or whatever it is. It's fucking amazing. So I think it's an amazing idea. That's right. That's gonna be in the description of the show. And Mike, is there anything else you want to plug in on your end?
No, I mean, you kind of hit it right on the head. I mean, everything's an opinion at the end of the day, and I'm just curious to see who's what opinion on what topic. And it's fun to hear like all the different types of theories that come along with conspiracies. And it's just good to listen to people who've been down the rabbit holes for hours
Oh
and
yeah.
hours and hours. So I'm a sponge. I love learning.
Let's break the ice now. Now let's dive in. What's the conspiracy theory that made your hair stand up, Mike? The one that you said, and then you stepped back and you went in deep into the research.
Well, I got into conspiracies late 90s, early 2000s, as I started questioning everything. Music for me and how Hollywood worked was interesting. How like the 90s rap music culture agenda was gangs and drugs. And once you dig deep into it, you see that like most of the big major record producers, owners had ownership into prisons.
Holy snap.
They were making money on both ends. Then obviously you have 9/11. And then, it just goes from there. I wasn't like a big CRYPTID guy. I mean, I listened to it, believed in it, like, sure, why not? That was always my theory on those. But since I've known Roger, I've gotten a little more deeper into it because that's like his favorite. He loves the cryptids, the Bigfoots, the Dogmans.
Okay.
And,
That was
cool.
how I got in, because Loch Ness and Bigfoot and all that stuff was kind of how I got rolling into it. But then 9/11 happened, and I watched Loose Change 9/11 by Jason Burmis, and that changed it all and opened my eyes to government corruption and all that kind of stuff. But we won't get too on the political stuff. But 9/11 is a crazy one. I mean, Building 6, Building 7, people don't talk about those. The planes never hit them, but they fell down. Just a lot of information in those buildings. All there was, nothing more than that. So
1000% cryptid, huh? You believe in portals?
I think Bigfoots are interdimensional beings where they transport through portals. That's why a lot of missing 411 happens in national parks, and sometimes these people are never found or anything of their belongings are found because it's dropped right into a portal. So I'm from upstate New York, and for anybody familiar with David Paulides' Missing 411 documentary on Tom Messick, that happened about 45 minutes north of me in the Adirondacks. And one of the family members said he heard a door closing. So like a big like slam door, like a bifold door kind of thing slamming. And I always, when I heard that was one of my theories into it, was because it was a portal closing, and that's why there's never some of these people are never found.
What makes us conspiracy theorists most of the time is that we theorize on conspiracies. A lot of the time, I'm not saying this is about you, I'm saying about many other podcasters. We always talk about, like how I mentioned in the beginning of the show, we talk about how Michelle Obama has a dick, and we don't talk about an original conspiracy theory, because what happened is it blew up. Conspiracy theories blew up. 2020 came and everybody and their mama had an opinion or regurgitated other information from other podcasters that actually did the research. So you're like, oh crap. Everybody and their mama wants to be a conspiracy podcaster. And it's great. I freaking love it. I enjoy it. I enjoy helping other people grow. Like they help me grow. So I'm like, okay. But talking about the portals, I did some research, bro. And I'm going to say some because I'm not finished with it.
Okay.
That trees are portals, bro. And I know this was on Merkel's The Confessional.
Okay.
Confessionals.
Yep.
Some dude showed up and talked about how the wind activates them. And I was like, no. So there is scientific proof, mythological, and biblical connection that wood today behaves as a module and is conducting electricity. If you combine that with mineral pockets in their veins and in the roots, you have yourself a conductor. Now, how do you think a microphone works? It creates vibrational vocals into energy, into electricity, and then you can hear me. Same thing. So what is something that, for example, Bigfoot, the biggest cryptid there is, right? The most famous one.
Mhm.
What is something that Bigfoot today is known for? Infrasound. That big woo, right? So I'm thinking, what if these with the infrasound are activating wet tree bark, the mineral pockets in these freaking trees to open portals for a split second so that they can bend light in interdimensional travel? It's fucking huge, bro. And you're like, okay, then how is now I'm questioning how powerful does it need to be, the infrasound, to be able to electrify the tree so you could open the portal? How can they do it? You've seen this in nature before. How do you think an electric eel produces electricity with their flesh, with cells? The same freaking way, right? I'm like, okay, so it is possible. Breaking into this shit, bro. I haven't broken it in. Then you go into the energetic properties of trees, extinct and also extant wood today. And one of the biggest wood that you have that is prevalent and everywhere is the acacia tree. Coincidentally, acacia tree was also used to hold in the Ark of the Covenant. So if you guys know anything about scripture, back then in the day before Jesus stepped on this earth, the priests were able to talk to God through this box, the Ark of the Covenant. And if anybody that was not righteous or had sins in their body, they would tie a string on your ankle. You would walk in there, open the curtains, get in, and the moment you would open your eyes, you would fall. If you had sins, you weren't able to be there. So if anybody heard your body fall, they would just pull you out through that rope. But what held the energy of God in that box? The acacia tree. And it was plastered with conductors like gold and silver. So you're like, oh my God, these guys created a freaking battery to interdimensional transport with Jesus, to talk to Jesus. And then you have, what kind of wood was Jesus hung on? On olive tree. Where did he land 40 days, 40 nights? On the Olive Mount. And you start talking about all the woods that were biblical connected. Jesus Christ was an interdimensional jumping dude. If you think about it, I was like, holy crap. It is nuts, bro. The connections with scientific, dude. There is universities in the Netherlands, here in the United States, and in Mexico, in the Yucatan Peninsula, that are using acacia tree modules, wooden-made modules today as conductors for technology year to date, bro. It's fucking nuts. It's nuts, bro. So I was like, oh my God. So I think portals are 1,000%. I went on that entire rant just to tell you that I agree with portals.
Oh, that's interesting shit though, because now that's something I'm going to dive into, and no, I'll start looking into. I want to look into the acacia trees and all that. That's what I mean, man. It's the cool thing about doing this. I never even heard of that. So now that's a whole new topic of nuts, research for me. That's awesome. And it also goes back to like vibrations.
Vibration frequencies.
Yeah, all that stuff. They used to have bells everywhere. Everything was notice all the bells, the Philly bells cracked. All these bells they don't use them anymore. What was that a healing thing? Or was it to open up portals and time travel and all that other stuff? Who knows? Who knows? Rabbit holes. What do you think? For days.
Rabbit holes for days. What do you think about light therapy, bro?
I haven't looked much into that, so I don't have too much.
Have Janet on and have Janet bring you the red light therapy information. Oh my God, bro. It is nuts. It's on cathedrals, it's on windows, it's on everything, bro. Like everything that we used to worship the sun. If you know anything about worshiping the sun, wherever the sun comes up and it beams into a certain like colored glass, will give you, it'll fix your emotions, it'll fix your hormonal problems. Like, dude, it's nuts, bro. Acoustic properties, the light fixes you. I have this saying, bro. If you can get vitamin D from the sun, you can get gay hormones from blue light, and everything has blue light. If you think about it, phones, everything. I'm telling you, if you could get hormone therapy from different things of angles and lights, it's not stupid to say. I'm just saying, conspiracy theorize with me. Come on, man.
I mean, it's in the water, it's in our phones, anything to do it at this point, just to weaken society and the wussification of America.
Hell yeah, bro.
It's tough. It's tough to see, man. Especially I got a young kid. It's scary to see what the world's going to be like in 20, 30 years from now. It's going to be a crazy
what
place.
do you think it's going to be at, bro?
I thought we'd be at the Jetsons level by now, when I was a kid with technology, but it's starting to move at a little bit more rapid pace. And I think we're going to start to see um, our money start to go in a digital currency. Unfortunately, I don't think there's really going to be much for us to do to stop it. And I think that's where, as people, we start to lose control and it turns into 1984 on us. Is what's scary. And Mike always brings it up. And like the more I'm looking into things, I think it's happening. I think it's just, Agenda 2030. I don't think it'll be there by then, but they'll get there the same way they did with, Agenda 2020 with the whole pandemic and everything else. So they practice these things, man. It's crazy.
We're guinea pigs.
Like guinea pigs. Flash from Flash_News1. Shout out to Flash. That son of a gun said something that I love. He goes, this is his slogan. He goes, time does not repeat itself, but it does echo. And it's true. It repeats itself in a certain frequency, bro. It's nasty, bro. Yeah.
Yep.
So what's up? What did you guys dive into with that lady? What's her name?
Carol Ann from the In-Between?
Yeah.
Oh, man, we went everywhere. We went some missing 411. We talked some, she had one story that she recently did. It was on the Vodavara. It was a group of soldiers from World War II that they were in a small town and they were going to go set up camp and hike up this mountain. And it wasn't even like a big mountain or anything like that, but it was like a cursed mountain or something to that extent. And out of like I think it was like 100 and some odd soldiers, some were just drop dead, like scared to death type thing. Some were, decapitated. They don't know what came through. They don't know what it was. There was no footprints. There was no nothing like that. There was no shots fired by the soldiers, anything to that nature. But that was a real interesting one that I recently started diving down. We went everywhere. We went to some Area 51. That's our real quick Area 51. Shout out to our other co-host who's not here, Area 51, Anthony.
Shouts. Yep.
Testing done.
Yeah, they're probably doing some ET testing on him right now.
Holy fuck. Wait, he works there? What's going on?
No, that's just his
no. We just call that.
Yeah, he's the next Bob Lazar, that guy. We talked some Area 51. We talked some Bob Lazar. She was actually great because she wasn't afraid to push back on anything she disagreed with. And a lot of times guests will kind of just go in agreement with something you say, or a host will as well. And it was a good, really good conversation because there was a little pushback and it made for a real interesting chat.
That's freaking cool. That's what's up, bro. I enjoy the fact that you guys, even though you guys kept your composure and saw that she was challenging back, you also kept the entertainment up. And you guys didn't break the character. You guys didn't break the respect. That's very important as hosts. And then receiving and giving information, listening, and uplifting each other towards the end. Where do you guys stand on spirituality, bro? With conspiracy theories and stuff.
Spirituality's that's a good one, man. I grew up Catholic. Still, believe in my faith and all, and it's interesting with the whole spirituality, man, because it everything always every conspiracy for some way, somehow, I always feel like it goes back to it. It always goes back to like a religion in some type of way. Mike, what do you think, Mike?
I think there's a Holy Spirit. I think what they've taught the masses is a fallacy, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think the Bible has been rewritten so many times. It's like that game when you were a kid, telephone, remember? Sit in a circle with your classmates, go around, and then by the time you get there, the story's not even what it started. I definitely think there's a Holy Spirit. There is a God. And,
because
I love him. I believe in him. But I don't go to churches. There's just too many questionable things. Like, I don't think you should have to give up 10% of your income. I don't think that you should have to pass around a plate so the pastor can drive a Bentley and live in a multi-million-dollar home.
Bam.
I think that he lives inside you, and whatever you do, he's with you on that journey. But you're the one that makes the journey. So
he's guiding you along the way. And that's where I can go with conspiracies, because you can go back to You know, if in biblical they talk about the watchers and the fallen angels, is that the Anunnaki? Are those aliens they have up what is it, Mount St. Helen, where oh my God, what is it? The WEF has like a meeting every year. They have
Mhm.
212, yeah, they have 212 seats, and that's allegedly how many fallen angels there were. So there's a lot of
Huh.
crazy stuff like that too. So I don't know. The Book of Enoch not being in there, that's starting to become a big topic when well, who was it? It was Congressman Lena went on Joe Rogan and brought it up, and that was a big topic with her, the Book of Enoch. And you know, if you ask people who study scripture or by very like religious, and you bring up the Book of Enoch, some people don't even know what the heck you're talking about. So it's interesting.
Yeah.
But
The idea of fallen angels, gods, multi-headed creatures, abominations of DNA hacking with half man, half creature, and all these stuff from biblical to mythology to today's day of age where we can talk about skinwalkers and shape-shifting mothmen and Bigfoots and other shit. It all connects, bro.
mhm.
I always say this, believe what your gut tells you and hashtag look it up. Do not think but for a minute that you are only supposed to follow what the preacher says. You need to have an intimate relationship with God, which means you need to know you and you need to be able to have conversations with him regardless of what the pastor says. Yeah, it says to congregate, but it also says to that don't worship other men and don't worship other idols. I myself, bro, I go to church every single day, and it's not the brick and mortar church that you think. I have biblical conversations every single day, at least one verse before 6 a.m. in the morning when I clock in, bro. Every single day with one other person. That's church. That's all it is. And then you
Mhm.
you sharpen each other up with knowledge, with scripture, with opinions, right? And then it gives you another topic to talk to Jesus about when you have your intimate time, when you want to learn, when you want to grow. So it's very important that you guys amplify that too. And I'm very happy that you got that mic. You found God and you have him in your heart and you're walking that path because it's very important. I always say I like to tell people on the show, you can't. Doesn't matter who you voted for. You can't change the world. You could only change where your 2 feet lay, where you
Mhm.
stand, where you're with your wife in your house, and you when you profess protect and provide. That's the only space that you're in charge of. You could only mind and manifest and protect this, and then guard this, and then after that, you amplify that message and you resonate with the frequency. Very important stuff, bro. So
Oh yeah.
Titanic, you have Mike with scripture, and you have a good combination here, bro. Now, but the question is this, bro. Have you had an interaction with an alien entity or a cryptid?
Are you asking
Um,
me or Raj?
Go ahead, Mike.
Mike, hit it.
Um, I wouldn't say that I've been like face to face with them. I would say in my younger years, because I live in Florida, so I don't know where you're at or whatever, but in Florida, there's a lot of weird things that fly in the sky.
Mm.
So if anything, I've come across those type of UAPs, I guess they call them. But I remember the closest ever was I was about 13. I was playing in the front yard in the rain. It was pitch black dark. And looking down the road, it's pretty wide open where my mom lives. And I see these lights coming, three of them, not moving, and they're coming straight at me. Now, as
Whoa.
they were getting closer, they got a little faster. And then all of a sudden, I would say probably like 200 yards, they just shot off to the right and disappeared.
Holy crap.
Now, I didn't really think anything of it because I had been watching Close Encounter of the Third Kind. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that kind of had, but I mean, I've sent pictures of Raj on the way to a golf tournament and just seeing objects, UAPs flying completely vertical with a huge sonic boom shield going for miles and miles.
Yeah, when I was down at Disney last year, I was sending you pictures that I was seeing like Starlinks going up and everything. Every night there was something different up in the sky
Mm.
down there.
Oh yeah. So that's the closest. I've never seen a Bigfoot or anything like that, but UAPs are my alley down here in Florida.
I
That's
had
interesting.
one paranormal experience when I was back in high school. Girl I dated, her father always used to mess with me. I thought it was just because he didn't like me.
Mm.
And he would tell me stories that, you know, the door would open or he would see imprints jumping on the bed and all this crazy stuff. Well, one day my girlfriend ran to the store or something, and me, her younger sister were downstairs playing, date myself, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. We were playing that on the PlayStation.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 freaking rules, bro.
Yeah, that's it was fire.
All day.
So they had like a raised ranch, and we're downstairs, and all of a sudden I hear like a ball, like a tennis ball bouncing down the hallway. And they had a lab. So the lab was right by my feet, and I'm like, all right, didn't think nothing of it, maybe fell off, a window was open, rolled off a table, whatever the case may be. Well, then I heard it go back down the hallway with a little bit of a pitter patter. And I was like, yeah, all right. So I did it one more time. So I go up to like the landing, and the dog goes up, and the dog stopped in the middle of the landing. The hair on the back of its neck went up, ears went straight up. So we went outside, and her dad got home, and I told him what happened. He goes, he goes, yeah, that happens every once in a while. Usually in the middle of the night, though. That was weird. It happened during the day. So that was my like closest I've ever like had a paranormal experience. But I guess they did have someone come into the house to do like a reading or whatever it was. And there was 2 pictures that her great grandmother gave to her mother that had a kid with a ball, and there was a girl in a rocking chair. And they always said they heard a rocking chair in the house, like a creaking of a rocking chair. So they removed those pictures pretty quick.
The pictures, Brian from Demon Erasers came by and he said that tattoos. I was like, what do you mean tattoos? He goes, if you have the tattoo of a name that passed, of someone that passed, or your mom or anybody that passed, you are invoking not only their memories, but also their demons. I was like, what? Shut
Whoa.
the fuck up, dog.
That's wild.
No, I was like, dude, that's just deep, bro. And then what's his name? CRYPTID Warfare Operations. Mad shout out to Juski. He's like, yo, if it's not godlies, it's the other dudes. I was like, damn, what are you trying to say? He goes, Bigfoot, everything, all of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like,
Damn.
what do you mean, bro? You're telling me that Bigfoot's evil? He goes, I'm telling you dead ass right now that it's an interdimensional entity that is out to eat your soul through influence and physical appearances, through thought patterns to destroy you. I was like, oh my God. So everything that we've been told is a lie. I was like, holy crap, it is. If you think about it, the devil wears 1,000 faces, and he has 1,000,000 ways to lie to you, bro, to trick you, to think about the same thing. And every single god, every single thing that you see through ancient civilizations, all of them, it's the same god, the same story on repeat. It's just repackaged and resold to you. Christmas used to be Saturday, you know, this shit fucking. But the Valentine's Day, it was all pagan. So it's not, man. That's what my best friend. Shout out to Big Tank. He freaking hated the fact because we went on the it was called the episode was called Valentino, and I broke down Valentine's Day and the historic value through the Greeks, and he was like, nah, bro, you can't do that, bro, that's not right. I'm like, Saint Valentine ain't saint, dog.
Right.
If you break down, if you Google the word Nick, like Saint Nicholas, like Santa Claus, right? Nick, it's Little Nick. Little Nick is another word for Satan. Hashtag look it up. That's on Google. Google will tell you this shit. So I'm like, what the crap? So it's just repackaged and resold to you, bro. Every single thing.
I mean,
if you mix up the words Santa, it's Satan.
Yeah. You know, reindeer don't have antlers in the winter. Only female deers do. So all the deers you know of, all the freaking names are all tranny names. Think about it. Vixen, Chickson, whatever the fuck they name. Every single name of a freaking reindeer in Santa Claus sleigh is a transsexual deer. Look it up. I'm not lying.
You're right. Two the names in my head. The only one that's a male is Rudolph.
Rudolph. That's fucking nuts, bro. Yeah, man, it's fucking crazy. So what's up for Conspiracy Chaos, bro? What's next, man? What do you guys got planned for 2026?
We're gonna just keep. So we in the beginning we were kind of just doing roundtables. We were getting some guests, but we weren't really doing it at a consistent level with bringing in some guests. Like our first guest was we got off to a great start with Mark from My Family Thinks I'm Crazy. How
did you get him? This crap, man. He is the last piece of the puzzle for my guest list, and he would every single time he has something to do, we have to cancel because something happens with him, or the other way around.
So funny story, actually. So through the Pitch Putt and Puff, XG on Tinfoil Hat also has We Don't Smoke the Same podcast, he co-host.
Word.
So I, with the cannabis side of things, I connected with him. Would always send him conspiracy things. Boom, boom, boom. Developed a
I see.
relationship
The
with him.
networking. Mhm.
And they came out to, I'm in upstate New York, like I said, they came out to Connecticut. So I went out and took like the hour and a half drive out to see their show. Got a chance to hang out with XG for a little while. I was literally at the t-shirt table selling t-shirts with X at the show. So it was a cool opportunity for me because, you know, being from upstate, there's nothing going on up here. So I didn't know who Mark was at the time. I knew who he was. I didn't know visually who he was. I've just listened to him. And he's over by the table with a flashlight. And I'm like, did you lose something? He goes, yeah, nothing important. He goes, well, you're looking kind of hard. He dropped a joint. I said, well, man, don't worry about it. I luckily, being the pitch pot and puff guy that I am, I had an extra one, hooked him up with it. So when I reached out to him, told him who I was, that's how I referenced myself. So he obviously remembered me. He was like, damn, he was probably like, damn, I owe this guy one. So we were lucky enough to get him on.
Damn, look at that story, dog.
That's how it works,
That's
though, man.
funny.
You got a network.
That's what's up, big dog. Hey, things happen for a reason, bro. So do not stop what you guys do. And I really hope I would have met 51, Area 51 dude on your show. That would have been a great, crazy conversation. I wanted to get his end and see what his favorite conspiracy theory was. But I'm glad that you guys are keeping up, bro. I think this episode was hardcore. Is there anything else you want to come out and say, dog, that's popping in your mind that you know that's driving you nuts that you think we should freaking pay attention to? Mike, let's start with you.
Yeah, Mike.
Well, actually, not really. I just wanted to touch up on a couple things that you were talking about. So, like when you were talking about like trees being dimensional, you know, or open portals, think about, because at Hollywood, they put everything they do in Hollywood. You know, it's our jobs to decode what kind of message they're sending, right? So, remember Avatar?
Yeah.
How the trees were all very powerful.
1000%.
And what humans wanted to destroy them, right? So like you kind of see that in real life, like all these trees getting torn down on a daily basis. So, but there are videos of frequencies of people who actually, you have to have like a certain level of meditation, but actually talk and move trees and talk to them. And they're actually pretty spiritually cool videos. Like, man, you feel something inside. So portals are definitely real, 100%. Just everybody look up and study Agenda 2030 because it is coming. The future is moving. AI is moving. I think they finally signed the final bill to where no state can change government AI once it's built out of the White House. So that's pretty big. So
if I may add, so my tree portal original theory is leading me to another theory. Another door opened, and you're gonna be like, "You're fucking nuts!" Like, I know I'm fucking nuts.
That's what we love.
That's the best,
bro.
Man.
Concrete, yes, rocks. And I'm not talking about freaking minerals. I'm not talking about minerals or organite. I'm talking about pebbles, fucking rocks.
Sure.
Concrete. So why do they call it a concrete jungle? So what happens in the jungle? Where the trees are, when you ground yourself, you put your feet on the ground, and it only takes seconds for your veins and your pores to open up, and you soak up, and it soaks up the energy. You ground yourself, right? Especially when you've been hanging around these fucking things all day.
Yeah, man.
It's a different frequency. Why do you lose service when you're in the jungle? Because it's a different frequency. It doesn't tap in. It can't go through the canopy of the trees. It just can't penetrate the leaves.
Frequency. That's
right? And you're like, okay. So I'm thinking, this is just a theory. I'm thinking that the concrete jungle is purposely created not for roads and not for freaking the buildings. It's created to keep us docile at a very low frequency in a mental state and conscious level, so that they could keep cancering us, not canceling, cancering us mentally, emotionally, physically.
15-minute cities.
15-minute cities, and it goes into that, of course, but
and ley lines are the same thing. It's grounding Earth.
Exactly. So you know how there's ley lines in the jungle proof of frequency through the jungle? Then why do they call it the concrete jungle? It's direct opposite. So there's a high frequency and there's a low frequency front where you could lay in, and we are laying in a concrete jungle. I live in LA, so think about that. Why is it that all the drug addicts are here? Why is it that everybody, you see what I'm saying, right? It's just all the bad habits are here. You got the trends, the movies, and all this shit that comes out of the concrete jungle, and then you have the frequency effect. The signal effect. Jesus Christ asked Peter, which his name is Petros, which means rock. What do you think I am? He goes, I think you're the Lord and Savior. He goes, and on that rock, he pointed at him, I will build my church. What does Satan want to do to everything that is Christian or has godly values? He wants to corrupt it from the inside out and turn it on its head. Peter also was the the first disciple that died and asked as a last request to be crucified upside down. What do you see the crucifix as of today?
Yeah.
The Antichrist. So they made it. The freaking demonic panic of the 70s made the freaking the upside down cross satanic. It's not satanic. It's not. Biblically, it's something to revere God.
Wow.
So if you think it's all connected, bro, if you put science and Bible together, bro, and where it crosses, that's the truth, bro. It feels good when you hear it and you're like, oh my God.
It makes sense.
Yeah,
it makes sense. Yep.
That's nuts, huh? It's fucking crazy, the concrete jungle shit. But I haven't broken into it yet, bro. I don't have all the details yet. But the tree portals, I broke into that one. I'm telling you, bro. I want to make it into
a fun one.
Oh, I like it. I mean, the concrete theory I can totally get in with, because I mean, you are right. I mean, concrete that our houses are built on keep us from being grounded. It throws
the foundation on them, concrete.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Very low frequency, especially when, like I tell these boys, when they start spraying heavy in the skies, and then all of a sudden the 5G towers are humming. You can hear that little hum in your mind, and then you start getting depressed, or you start becoming agitated, because the sky's covered. It's a dreary day. 5G towers are going because they're grounding everything. They don't want the frequency to go up. Yeah.
At every level, bro. And then you keep you entertained. You have Stockholm syndrome, and you're in love with your enslavers, bro.
Yeah. And then how about you go get some of those big pharma pills, get addicted to that to get rid of the noise. And all of a sudden now they got you in another pulling one arm this way, one arm the other way. You're just in a loop. Never ending.
What did Kiss the band? They said they would put their faces on coffins, and then they would put their faces on condoms. They put their faces on everything, but they put their faces on coffins and condoms. They got you coming and going, bro. What the propaganda machine, bro?
Propaganda machine. Dude, like Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah. On the way out, Roger, lead us out, bro. Let them know what's up with the Conspiracy Chaos podcast, and then where can people find you?
No, I mean, we appreciate you having us on. This is real fun, chopping it up. You said this is dropping in January for the new year, so let's stay positive rolling into the new year. No more negativity. Let's leave all that nonsense behind. Check us out at Conspiracy Chaos. Big things coming. You can find us at Conspiracy Chaos on Instagram, Twitter. We don't have a TikTok. We don't really mess with that. YouTube, and anywhere you can find podcasts. Don't forget to check out the Pitch Putt and Puff. You can find that on Instagram, YouTube, same thing, Apple, Spotify. And we're gonna have to have you on. I'll have to have you on both of these pods, man, and get a little chop up session with you as well, man.
I'm down, bro. I'm down. Good. That'll be good. I'm gonna add you to a group called the Pod Alliance that we have. We got some of my best friends in there, bro. Little podcasts, bigger podcasters. And I'll put you in there because I think the networking, and this is very important. 50% of what you do in podcasting, at least in the community, is networking. It's who you know.
Yes, sir.
Like you did it yourself. You met somebody through a freaking joint.
Yeah.
And then he gave you a badass freaking show. You know what I'm saying? So
yes, sir.
It's the networking, bro. So again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, make sure you check out Mike and Area 51, and also the homie Roger from the Conspiracy Chaos podcast on all social media platforms. And hey, guys, I know what you know. Like, I know what you feel like with the TikTok stuff. Like, I'm on my 4th TikTok account. I'm on my 2nd YouTube account. I'm gonna say this right now. I didn't want to get on YouTube either because it's too hard for me. I got on YouTube a couple months ago, and it's doing fairly well. I'll be honest with you. You have to utilize these fucking tools. You have to study the stars like they do. You have to hit
the
them where it
problem.
hurts with their fucking medicine. Because if you don't, you get left in the back. You have to use AI. You have to use those tools because everybody else is using them against you, dog. You have
I
to
know.
utilize them. Yeah, man.
I am on
tough.
TikTok for the pitch putt and puff, man. I just can't. I don't know. Like, I'm gonna hire like a 20-year-old to run it for me because I can't figure it out, bro. 42. When I was in high school, we were just learning word processing. We were doing Oregon Trail and stuff. We didn't even have like games like that. So I'm learning. I'm catching up to these youngsters.
That's what's up, big dog. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is the Conspiracy Chaos Podcast. Drop a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. This allows other people to enjoy the show as much as I enjoy making it. Happy New Year, mother. Good shit.